First sip of coffee. Coffee-y. That's the downside with the word coffee. Anyways, good morning. It's Monday. I took yesterday to do a whole bunch of admin work. What I've been trying to do is take Saturdays completely off and do no work. Like actually absolutely no work. I don't mean like housework, like I did laundry and cleaned up and did some grocery shopping and stuff, but just completely separating my mind away from the daily grind of everything it is that I'm doing, because I have a temptation to just work straight through the week. I'm so excited about the things that are going on. I want to put in as many hours as possible, but there comes a point where there are diminishing returns on the hours that I put in, and I don't like that. I don't like that. I also find that I've started craving rest now that I've started resting, so that's good. Because I think it has a really dramatic impact on my emotional, mental health, but also just like my capacity to be productive. So yeah, we're back to it. That isn't to say that, Sundays, I would like to film on Sundays, but I also just had so much other work to do yesterday that it can be really hard to divide that up. That said, I do have a meeting with Brian and Andrew here in a minute. I have another meeting this afternoon with another team for Secret Project number 2, who you will meet soon enough, I'm sure. And I need to buy a coffee. And what I was going to do today, speaking of wanting to do things and not doing them quite yet, was I was going to make a Patreon video today. What I used to do back when I was vlogging daily, like absolutely every day, was I made a commitment to try and pitch Patreon every other week, like once or twice a month at a minimum, just to try and help it continue to grow, because it enables so much of what I do, including just doing this full time. Like it's what makes it possible. It increases the quality, gives me more time to focus on it, and then to spend my extra time, instead of spending my extra time where vlogging was kind of my side gig and I had to work to make money, and then vlogging became my main thing, but I still had to do side gigs to make work. Now that I have to make work to make money, now that my Patreon is my bread and butter, especially during COVID, when all my money from tourism vanished, my income was easily cut in half this year. Patreon is what has made it possible for me to continue not only doing this, but to do it without stressing. And it's a huge gift, and a massive thank you to my patrons, of course, including today's patron producer, Jane Strending. Thanks, Jane, for being here. I appreciate having you on board, along with all my patrons. And my patrons, of all people, of course, are the ones that want me to pitch it more frequently, because they're just kind of generous people. And of course, they want more party goers to the Patreon party. It's a more fun party the bigger the party is. So that's a video that I'll make like tomorrow or in a couple days. And I also just need to refresh the explainer video on Patreon, because it's really old. So, it makes sense to just jump straight into it one of these days, make a shorter video, pitch that. And if you want to become a patron, hopefully it pushes you over the edge and gets you started. There'll be some fun stuff too, which I'll explain in the video, but I've been talking about it. One of the things I tasked Jess with, if you're unaware that Jess works for me part-time now, which is another thing that you enabled me to do, thank you patrons, is to pay people like Kate and Jess to help me with things that otherwise would completely overwhelm me. I'm going to be giving away a bunch of these guys. This is a legit license plate that I had made a long time ago. I know the secrets to getting these made. This guy's starting to peel just a little bit. I think this one's like 8 years old or something. Once I fished it out from back there, I wanted to show it off just so that I could say, if you become a patron, let's say by the end of April, because we got to see how long it takes to get these. But if you become a patron by the end of April, you're gonna have a chance for me to send you one of these. We're gonna have 5 of them made. 3 of them are gonna go to all patrons, all existing patrons. So we'll randomly select 3 people to send them to, and then 2 are gonna go to new annual patrons. You could be an old patron that switches to annual, or you could be just a new patron who goes annual. To promote that, because I never promoted it, I turned annual patronage on Patreon, and I never promoted it. So we got to do something to kind of draw some attention to it. So that seems like a good way to do it. I kind of want to see, the danger is I want it to be back here, but the danger is what happened last time I did this. I'm going to do that for now. I can get something sticky to put on it. The danger, last time I did this, it fell off the wall and ended up behind the stairs. And that's why I didn't see it for a long time. And that's why I needed Sam's help to pull the stairs apart, both to clean it, but also to get this guy, and also to add the lights. Whew, I've been running nonstop. I did take Saturday off, but I'm so excited. I cannot get, I'm just vibrating with it, and I gotta stop telling you about how excited I am until I can tell you what I'm excited about. So I'll try to tone that down a little bit. Anyways, this week, there are also some fresh digital wallpapers up for patrons. That's enough of the patron pitch today. You're gonna hear my real one later this week. Just a quick explainer, but like I said, that one, the dual purpose of that is to put it over on Patreon as well, because it just needs to be updated. Anywho, I got meetings, then we're gonna head into town, try to find some coffee because I'm running low on the Hambela Wamena, I guess. I don't know if I said that right, but it's from Ethiopia. KB, very good. I'm almost out. Like, there's not enough in here for a whole cup of coffee. So we got to go get ourselves another bag. And then we'll just see what kind of trouble we get ourselves into while we're wandering around downtown. It's going to be great. Anyways, I should probably get ready for this meeting. I'll see you on the other side. I almost completely forgot to mention I bought tickets to go back to the States last night. I was on a call with my dad and we were just kind of talking it through and it made sense. So basically just kind of update that because on the visa side, I still haven't heard anything, but my temporary paperwork is valid until May 18th, so I can legally and technically travel. I do, of course, want to try and get vaccinated, so hopefully the Johnson & Johnson is back and available because I'll only have like 2 weeks. I can't go for like the full month I would need for everything else, so the hope is that I could still get it that way. But really, the main goal is just to spend time with my family. I haven't seen them in over a year, and while I could wait a little while longer, the reality is that with everything ramping up here the way that it's beginning to, it's only going to get harder and harder to break away from Paris this year, and so this could be my only chance to see them. And I don't know for sure that that's the case. It's obviously taking a little bit of a risk as far as the paperwork goes, but that should be fine. It's more, I just want to make sure that I see my family before, I don't get another chance to the rest of the year. So yeah, and I know a lot of people that have flown back to get vaccinated that have been able to go back and forth. So I'm not really concerned about going back and forth. I'm a little bit stressed. It's weird. I haven't been in an airport for over a year. I haven't flown. That part, there's a little bit of an anxiety there, but I think that's already kind of wearing off. And increasingly, I'm just excited to spend time with my family. So yeah, that's really exciting. I'm actually really excited for that. I'm looking forward to it. I was a little bit nervous yesterday. It's crazy. It's a little bit more expensive than I wanted because I'm flying sooner than I was planning on. I was hoping that I could also stay there for longer, but hey, I'm rolling with the punches, doing what I can, and we're gonna make it work. And I'm gonna eat a lot of Mexican food and Pizza Pipeline, and it's gonna be great. It's just gonna be, I cannot wait. I'm so excited. This place is new. It's nice. There used to be a little monkey toy that would roll around laughing here on the ground and a bunch of other old grimy toys. No idea what happened there. Speaking of store changes though. I think I really liked my little tripod. I finally got some headway with Venmo for the closure on the bike situation. I called, asked them to process my refund this morning at the Paris office. It was a very nice conversation. We end on as good a terms as we can for the situation. They're very apologetic, very nice. Out of their hands here locally at least. So, no dramas, no grudges held, just ready to move on. So they said it'd take about 14 days to process the refund, and because I'll be out of the country by the time that happens, I'll probably wait to get a bike till I come back. But I did schedule a test ride with Cowboy, which I believe is actually local. I think they're French. They make electric bikes that look really good. You've seen them around town a lot, and they look nice. I wanted to try Amplitude as well, or Ampler. I think it was Ampler, but they don't have any test rides you can do here in town. So we'll see what we can find in the meantime. But yeah, I guess that story has come to its conclusion. We ordered that in July of last year, so 9 months later, almost exactly, because it was my birthday is July 20th, so crazy pants, absolute crazy pants. Adios, Van Moof. I hope you guys get your stuff together, and maybe your next bike will be a killer. But until then, ride safely. And I guess be really careful with those shifters, be careful. as you can see, the cherry blossoms are coming to their end. However, supposedly in Parc des Sceaux, the very famous park just south of Paris, with its own chateau and everything. I've been there a couple times before, I can link to that, but supposedly the cherry blossoms out there are behind by about 2 weeks, so they're in like full-fledged, absolute splendor. We might have missed it by a couple of days, but I'm gonna go out there tomorrow with my buddy Janelle and a couple other friends to take some photos and take advantage of it, and you know, get some fresh photos. I gotta dress in light colors, so gotta change this up a little bit. Anyway, some friend coffees. Oh, that was a motorcycle. I totally wasn't sure if that was a motorcycle or like a drill, because there's definitely drilling going on too. Anyways, friend coffees, nice little stroll down by the river, feeling good. There's a lot of good stuff to come. I really am so excited, and I'm so grateful that you're here for it. So tomorrow, go for a little bit of a stroll through the cherry blossoms. I picked the best spots, don't I? And then yeah, I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning for that. Let's just leave it there. See you tomorrow.